Today we're going to explore the concept of Black Swan events, what they are, why they matter, and how we can think about them constructively in an uncertain world. 1. What is a Black Swan event? Let's start with a definition. A Black Swan event is a highly impactful event that was very difficult to predict under normal expectations. But once it happens, we often rationalize it as, we should have seen it coming. Britannica.com +2. n.wikipedia.org +2. The term originates from the old idea that all swans were white, until black swans were discovered in Australia, overturning assumptions. n.wikipedia.org +1. According to the popular exposition by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, a black swan has 3 attributes. It lies outside the realm of regular expectation, an outlier. Corporate Finance Institute +1. It carries extreme impact or consequences. Britannica.com +11. After the event, people try to rationalize it as if it were predictable, hindsight bias. Corporate Finance Institute +1. In short, Black Swan events are rare, surprising, high impact, and retrospectively framed as, of course this should have happened. 2. Why do they matter? Understanding these events matters for a variety of reasons. From a risk management perspective, many traditional models assume normal distributions of events, small fluctuations, moderate risk. But Black Swan events come from the tails of the distribution. They can break our models. nwikipedia.org +1. In business, finance, technology, geopolitics, because of high interconnectivity, these events can cascade, creating systemic risks. riskledger.com. From an educational view, they challenge our assumptions about predictability, control, and what we know we don't know. They force us to think about uncertainty, ignorance, and resilience. 3. Classic examples. Let's look at some past events to anchor the concept. The global financial crisis of 2008. It was unexpected by many, had huge impact globally. Corporate Finance Institute. The attack of 11 September 2001, 9/11, is often cited. Large impact, not widely anticipated in that form. Corporate Finance Institute. In technology, similarly, events of large disruption that weren't predicted by dominant models. These help to illustrate the notion. 4. Recent, emerging contexts for black swans. Let's bring the concept into the present and future, so you see how it's relevant now. In Global Supply Chains, the article, The Black Swan Era, notes that as of 2024-2025, disruptions like the Red Sea crisis and the Panama Canal drought are being viewed as black swan-type disruptions. In agriculture, agro-industry, a forecast piece lists 9 black swans to watch in 2024 and beyond for agribusiness, e.g., stagflation, China unraveling, illustrating how sectors we might assume are stable can be vulnerable. In crypto, digital assets, the collapse of major exchanges, algorithmic stablecoins, for example, Mt. Gox, Terra USD, illustrate black swan events in emerging tech. What this means is, even though we cannot predict every black swan, we can see that the realm of possibility is expanding, especially in systems with high complexity and interdependence. 5. How can we think about preparation and response? Since by definition black swans are hard to predict, what can educators, organizations, researchers, and individuals do? Here are some ideas. Build resilience rather than prediction. Instead of trying to forecast the exact black swan, design systems that can absorb shocks, adapt, recover. In your research, this means allowing for model uncertainty, ambiguous outcomes, tail risk. Think in terms of tail risks and unknown unknowns. Tail risks, events far from the mean that traditional models undervalue. n.wikipedia.org. Accept that there are unknown unknowns. Events we cannot even conceive of now. Diversify and avoid over-reliance on single pathways. In finance, diversification helps reduce impact of one large adverse event. Corporate Finance Institute. In systems design or business, avoid brittle systems that fail completely when a rare event hits. Hindsight bias awareness. After a major event, people tend to say, "We should have expected it." Recognizing this bias helps us remain humble about future risk. Scenario thinking and stress testing. Use scenarios that include extreme outlier events rather than just business as usual. In educational contexts, ask, what if a catastrophe strikes X system? What assumptions break? 6. Implications for research, teaching and learning. Given that you are engaged in educational and knowledge-building work, and as Jammu Professor Rahul Jain, I speak to you as someone doing research and teaching, here are implications. In your NLP, ML, defense technology topics, which you're working on, consider how might Black Swan events emerge, e.g., unexpected adversarial attacks, radical technology leaps, system failures. How do our models cope with rare, extreme events? Are they designed for normal data only? When teaching, emphasize to students the limitations of models. They are built on past data, but the future may not resemble the past. Case studies are valuable. Pick recent emerging disruptions, e.g., supply chain shocks, geopolitical events, tech failures, as teaching material. It helps students grasp that unpredictability is part of the real world. Encourage mindset shift, from only optimizing for the expected to preparing for the exceptional. That shift is crucial in resilient research, resilient design, resilient systems. 7. Summary. Let's wrap up what we've covered. A Black Swan event is rare, high impact, and retrospectively rationalized. They matter because they challenge our assumptions, models, and risk frameworks. Examples from history and emerging contexts show us they are real and relevant. We cannot reliably predict them, but we can design for resilience, stress testing, diversification, and humility. For you as researchers, educators, model builders, focus on how your domain might encounter Black Swan-type disruptions and what you can do about it.